Thanks for tuning in to Bike Hike Botany. Today we're going for a hike in our town of Jaco, and this place is located right at the first entrance of Jaco across the highway.
So we're starting almost at sea level. The beach is just down in this direction about a kilometer, and there's a very slight grade, and then actually we're going to be climbing into some mountains that will take us, I believe, somewhere between 50 and 100 meters elevation.
I think at the end actually it's a little bit higher. I think it's almost 300 meters in elevation.
We'll be going somewhere that's almost 300 meters in elevation.
And if we look like we're a bit sweaty already, that's because we had pretty exciting starts for our hike. We had just left our house. We were maybe like 10 minutes down the road, and they started sounding the tsunami warning alarms. So we ran back home thinking that maybe there was a tsunami, and then yeah, we found out that it's just a drill, a safety drill today, so there's no tsunamis. Whew, thank goodness. So yeah, so we've added an extra 10 minutes already to our hike, so gonna get started. So this is also one of my favorite spots because the views out here are spectacular, as you can see. And there's just some really nice trails down in those fields below. Over on this platform here, you got a lot of paragliders that take off from that point. We wanted to just touch base a little bit on the topic of plant intelligence. So back in the 80s, there was a book written, The Secret Life of Plants. And apparently this book was a little controversial at the time because it claimed that like plants had all this intelligence and ability to control things. So it actually sparked a lot of interest in the scientific community to start studying if plants actually could hear sounds, or if they actually had some form of intelligence. So there's actually a scientist, Gagliano, who used a specific plant, the Mimosa plant, to show how the plant actually had memory. Probably many of you are familiar with this plant. It's also called the sensitive plant. So if you touch it, the leaves start to shrivel up. So this is a type of defense mechanism so that it appears to be less appealing to predators. So in Gagliano's study, she had a mimosa plant, and she would take this plant and drop it on the floor every single day at the same time. And the plant, of course, would always respond by closing the leaves. Then over the course of the week, she noticed that the plant stopped responding to the stimulus. So then she started to introduce other stimulus and doing other things to the plant. And then, as usual, the plant would respond to the new stimulus. So she had concluded that the plant had actually learned what the initial stimulus was of her dropping it, and understood that it was not a threat. So over here we have the takeoff point for the paragliders. You can see Jaco down below. And this is a really amazing spot. It's nice and cool up here. It's always breezy. And how can you beat this view? We're gonna keep going up the mountain. We can tell that this is another microclimate. It's definitely much cooler here, much breezier, very jungly and very dense. Different types of trees as well. recall on this trail. I had seen this a long time ago, but sometimes it gets overgrown and you can't spot it. But there's this little cross here on the side of the trail.
The humidity is catching up to us.
Yeah.
A little beat.
Yeah, it's like it was really hot at the beginning of the trail and not so overcast. I felt like the sun was just scorching. Then once you get a little higher up, it's super humid, so you're dealing with the humidity and the heat. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the GoPro, but this is a bit what nightmares are made of. Yeah, like a giant cobweb. Ooh, it's going across the entire pathway. I don't know if you can see the size of this spider. Don't get too close.
No.
Okay. No, don't get too close. Yeah, no. Okay.
Hi.
This is a golden orb weaver. They don't bite generally. Well, they can, but they're not really harmful unless provoked, like what Richard just did. But anyway.
It was an accident.
Yeah, no. This,
sorry, Mr. Spider.
But this cobweb is enormous, just like the spider. All right, that's enough of that. Let's keep going. Wow. Oh, there's like a giant wasp on it. Oh, beautiful. I love the color. It's great. You can see this from far, far away because it's so bright. So I love this trail because it's not really popular. I don't even know the name of this trail, to be honest. I don't even know if it has one. Maybe on the weekends you'll see some people walking. And definitely once you get up to the Paragliders takeoff point, it gets pretty quiet. There's only one house at the very end of this trail, and then it goes a little bit beyond that, and to my knowledge then the trail ends about a kilometer past the house that we're going to be heading to. So another thing that we came across that was really interesting was this TED Talk about how trees communicate with each other. And I'll get you the name of the woman who actually did the study. But her theory was that trees have this really elaborate network underground, and that they basically relay information through their root system and also through fungus.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's almost that plants and trees have a central nervous system in the soil. That's comprised mainly of bacterial growth and fungal growth, beneficial bacterial growth, mycorrhizomes and stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, it's really interesting. So we just had a bit of a scary encounter with like a very, very, very large dog. But anyway, the owner came to get him and told us he wasn't really dangerous, but scary nonetheless. Luckily I had my pepper spray and I didn't have to use it. But anyway, this place has really awesome views, as you can see. And over here we have some Spanish moss. A few fun facts about Spanish moss. It's neither Spanish and it's neither moss. So it's actually a bromeliad. And it grows in South and Central America and the southern US as well. It's called Spanish moss because the French basically thought that it reminded them of conquistadors' beards. So they used to call it Barba de Españoles, and over time the name got changed to Spanish moss. Another thing I've read, I don't know if it's true, but basically Spanish moss that's been on the ground for a while has some kind of mite or insect named chaggers or cheggers, something like that. I don't know. Doesn't look like there's anything living in there, to be honest. So, but again, I don't have a microscope. We're going to go and explore a little bit on this section that we've never been on before and just see if we end up in Pueblo Nuevo, which would be kind of cool. So we decided we're going to head back. We went all the way down to the bottom of the trail and it looked really sketchy. We didn't want to keep going. It just looked like there was maybe a big landslide out there. So yeah, maybe try it again some other time. But anyway, we're going to head back now. We've been probably hiking for over 2 hours. So I've got about another 2 hours to head home. The face of exhaustion. Okay, and today I want to shout out to my mom. So I just want to say, hi Mom, I miss you.
Shout out to my friends and family. Shout out to Lassie. Good luck.
So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. We hope that you enjoyed this hike and learning a little bit more about plant intelligence. So if you like this kind of content, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you get notified of our upcoming videos.
Thanks for joining us. Can't wait to see you on the next one.
Bye.